everybody, it's Daphne, your favorite person in the whole wide world. We are sitting down in the director's corner with Mike Timm. Hey, how are you?
Going on? All right.
This man right here is a Hollywood MVP. He has been, oh my God, he has done a lot. A lot. I started looking at everything that you've done and it blew me away.
Well, thank you. It's been a long run so far, but also a very short run. And I don't know. I've done a lot. There's a lot I haven't done, but when it comes down to it, I've definitely covered a lot of terrain. You might say over my life. I'm not going to call it my career, but my life because that's what it is. It's your life. So, and it's gone in different phases, and I really have enjoyed every single one of them, and it's still going. So there you go.
I know you have a lot of stories.
I'm sure I do.
So I ask everybody, of
Sure.
course, the most fun you've had, what set was it?
When was the most fun I had?
On what set?
Ooh, on what set? Ooh,
I know
uh,
it's all fun, but
right on this.
funny
So we're
one.
talking production.
Mhm.
Uh, wow. I mean, set. Yeah. I mean, I gotta say. Well, the thing is, when you're working on a set, I guess it's it is fun. Of course, it's fun, but it's hard to say. Like which one it was fun just to I think the eyes was great because when I directed that, every single time you're on a set, whether you're working or you're a filmmaker and you're directing, it really is. It's work, and you've got to stay open. You got to just keep your mind open. You're managing people. You're managing, hearts and minds, people's talents, the creative. You got to keep that all. But one of the, I think, my most fun moment ever was when I was directing the pilot episode of a beach thing, and we were down in was it Manhattan Beach, and we had to get into the ocean. So we had the lifeguard with us. We paid that. Everything was safe. We had the camera operator, the camera assistant. We had two actors. One was in a mermaid costume. So there was about a crew of about five of us in the ocean, in the waves, and one actor on a. Actually, there was three actors. One was on the surfboard, one was just in the ocean, and then we had this like mermaid. But the thing is, every time the waves would kind of come in, it was like I mean, if you're old enough to remember the Peanuts cartoons where they're all screaming, "Ah!" They would take our entire crew and cast and just throw us back about 20 feet, and we'd all go, "Ah!" with the waves, and we'd all have to get back in with the camera and everything else right back to set up. And then it'd be like, here comes the wave, and it just totally take us all like, ah. And I never laughed so hard in my life, not just during a film shoot, but just in general. It was just so stupid that we were making a movie, and it was just so much fun. And it wasn't like we were fearing for our lives because we weren't that deep, but it was definitely like it was ridiculous, but it was hilarious to see everybody just being kids and being like just they almost wanted to get knocked down by the waves and taken out and whatever else. And I do remember that as being like one of my favorite days ever shooting a
Is that
film.
one of the pictures that I put up on the page?
That's why I put that picture up.
Yeah.
Yep, that was it.
That
Someone
looks
took it.
fun, actually.
Yeah, it was really cool. Yeah, we shot in Manhattan Beach. That wasn't cheap. Uh, for about a week. So we really did a lot that week. It was good. It was cool. And directing a pilot was great. The pilot's good. I don't think it never got picked up, but their show never got picked up. But that's okay. I've got that under my belt now. So there you
How
go.
many cameras did you go through?
Oh my god, we didn't no, the camera, yeah, we had everything safe in the box and whatever that so technically everything was fine. We were all prepared. We had the money for it, so, it wasn't just like a get out there and see what happens kinda thing. So
Tell us about the Tom Cruise picture I put up.
so I work at Universal, right? I'm in home entertainment, and as let me say, creative producer, we're basically I'm a production manager. I manage the process of menus for every title, just about UHD, Blu-ray, DVD, iTunes, whatever. That's my job at Universal, and it's been a great job, and I'm still there. So that's raising kids and all that. So that I won't get into that of just leaving production and going into the studio side.
Mhm.
But on Oblivion, Tom Cruise, he bought lunch for everybody. So the movie Oblivion, he was in, and everybody that we did so well, and all the creative and everything we were doing, and he looks at everything, he reviews. We have to route him all the creative. He bought everybody lunch, and we all went up to like this old back lot, and we had the Korean taco truck there, and literally it was just him and the director and Ron Meyer, who was still president, and all these people, and about maybe 40 of us that were all worked on it, and we all got to just hang out with them. And he was really he was gracious. He was definitely in his mode of being there and interviewed or whatever. But I remember talking to him, and I just said, I just my one of my favorite moments is just in The Outsiders, and in that role and everything else. And you could see he totally went to like just being Tom Cruise, like of that age, and he really just went, oh man. And he gave me a hug, and I was like, so I touched the nerve of him just being like, I got him to be real for a moment, and he didn't have to be Tom Cruise the actor, but as a person, I could really see it in his eyes, and he really like he loved that because he didn't expect it, that role or whatever. But I just told him I was like, that was like the beginning of everything, and it really was sweet. So then we took a picture, and that was that.
So that's from Oblivion.
Oblivion, yeah. So that was after the movie Oblivion came out.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay. That's a good movie.
yeah, it is a
I
good
like
movie.
that movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've seen that quite a few times, actually.
yeah.
I couldn't figure out what the outfit when
Oh,
when
that was just an outfit he wore. It was a blistering July day, and here he was in black leather pants, black t-shirt, black sweater, cashmere, and a black leather jacket, and
like,
there was not 1 ounce of sweat on him.
wow,
Whatever.
it's hot.
So
It's
I
hot
don't know,
out.
but it was definitely, it was like, "Well, okay, I guess you're taking the right vitamins, you're eating the right food." I don't know, but there you go. But he was definitely movie star material at that moment, so
He's got a water pump running to him or something.
something. Yeah, it's something. I don't
I don't
know.
know.
Yeah,
I know people like that that's wore, coats. I know one of my brothers anyway, he used to kill me because I grew up in Vegas.
uh
And you know how it is in Vegas, and this
right?
was years ago, and it was, God, 120 something degrees out there, and he would wear those damn jackets. I don't know if you remember this in the '80s, the jackets that had the pockets in the front, those starter jackets or whatever. They
Kind of. Were they members only? Were they something of the sort? Like, I don't
It was
know.
like the football jackets, but they're starter jackets and they had the pockets in the front. And he would go
Mm,
around in the sweaters
right?
and the starter jackets, and he would wear that in 100 and something degrees. And I would just ask him, like, what the hell is wrong
Yeah,
with you? Because I didn't want to wear
right,
like tank tops and shorts was
right,
for me. And I would just looked at him like he was crazy. You're running around in
right,
freaking coats.
right.
Oh, you know,
Yeah,
I just don't
that's
understand that.
some people just like, tea in the Sahara kinda thing.
I don't know. I'm telling
There
you
you go.
what. So what you got? I mean, do you have any projects? You working on anything? You got anything coming
Yeah,
up?
no, I definitely have some projects. You always have, well, maybe not everybody, but I have a couple of projects that have been brewing for years. It takes years just to kind of maybe not for the project itself, but for you as a filmmaker to be ready for other people to say, okay, that project. So my projects right now, I've got Hell Squad with Lou Arkoff. His father produced the original movie Hell Squad in 1958, and I rewrote it, remaking, a remake of it. It's different, same situation, about a World War II squad lost in the Tunisian desert. It's a little bit more of a kind of a Lord of the Flies kind of thing, and there's a lot of just themes of nationalism, racism, everything else. And I think right now, and just it being a war, even World War II film, I really, really do think that it speaks to so much today. So I think it's way more than just a World War II film, and I think it'll play really well. So I've got that. We're budgeting and scheduling that right now, and hopefully going to be shooting that in the Utah area. Um, so I have that, and then we'll look for funding, casting. So we're going to start doing that once we get the line item budget, which we should have in the next like 2 weeks, hopefully. But we also looked everywhere in the world because at one point it was a sci-fi movie, and then it just got too expensive, so we brought it back to a World War II version. So that there's that. I also have a low budget sci-fi horror movie that is based on my short film The Eyes, and that's called Leech. So that's a movie that's, I already have some investors interested in me as a person, but also the project.
Yeah.
I've got distributors that looked at the short film and they're ready to put up an MG, minimum guarantee up front. Um, that's great. So I've got a lot of support for that one. And I talked to an actress yesterday for the first time that she read the script, and I basically gave her the role because I think she'll just knock it out of the park. And she's the only one that I've actually casted so far. And
Yeah.
so I'm just kind of hold off, gonna start really looking at a lot of people. But for some reason I just think she'll be fantastic in the one major female role. So I have that project, and then, I've got a script, another one that I'm putting out there soon about past life regression, and I think my current short film, The Valley of Heart's Delight, is in the vein of the temperament of that movie, of a karma thing that I'm going to be starting to send out. So I actually just sent it out to a management company yesterday, so we'll see what they say. And but I haven't really had too many people read it yet, so we'll see where that goes. And that's it. And I'm just writing another script, and that's enough. And then, yeah, like I said, I still have a full time job, and raising 3 kids and whatever, keeping just life itself.
Crazy
It
busy.
gets crazy. So just I'm trying to keep myself go to the gym. What is that? Trying to keep myself
Right.
healthy and read books and things like that. And so you know, it's spinning plates. What I have been doing is lessening the spinning plates. There definitely were a couple of months where I had too many spinning plates, and that is never a good thing. So we'll see. So
So
there's my long answer.
that's showing soon. I put the ticket link up. I tracked it down.
Oh,
This
yeah, cool.
I tracked it down and I put it up for purchase. So are they're limited tickets, correct? For
Oh,
that.
yeah. So I just found out yesterday we sold about 200 and something tickets already, and it's like a 300 seat theater.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
hear that.
yeah, so that's cool. So there, and that's a lot for a short film program, so which is cool. You know,
So you're gonna eventually is there just the short film version of that movie, or are you adapting that into a feature? Do you already have
the Dahlia Heart's Delight, we've talked about it. My co-writer, Ryan Ray, and the moment was based on a real life moment, and I just took it and just expanded it into a little bit more of a tale and more entertaining as a movie and as a as a something you would see in the cinema, or as a short film. We have talked about, well, what if this was a feature film? Because a lot of people who watch the movie are like, I want to see more of this.
yeah,
So like, oh, okay. So we have that in our back pocket. We haven't written anything down yet. We've only had little discussions, but I think that's something that if someone really wanted, like, say if someone's like, hey, here's a budget. We want to make a feature out of this. What would it be? Within a week, we could probably give them like, okay, this is what the movie is going to be, that
yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah. So I have a question. Actually, I was wondering when I was doing the page, is
Mhm.
I noticed that you worked with Callie.
I work with Callie Corey.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I worked at the Sundance Film Labs. I was in it when I worked for the Sundance Institute in Redford. That was in my late 20s, mid to late 20s. I also worked with the film labs. I was an assistant with the writer director labs, screenwriter labs, and that's where I met Christopher McQuarrie, Callie Corey, and Callie's. She was just so cool and so gracious. So it just really it was about Like, I didn't necessarily work with her, but I assisted, and she was there as one of the advisors, and just hanging out with her, talking about story, talking about, just, Thelma and Louise and, you
Mhm.
know, and, I just remember she told a story that she really felt bad about somebody that she just forgot to thank, and just in the heat of the moment, she forgot to thank somebody when she won her Academy Award, and it was just like, there's gonna be a next time. And she just, was like, "Oh, thank you." Like, because, there hasn't been yet, but she's had a very great career, and, she's so sweet and so cool, and she was fun to talk to just about storytelling and everything else, so it was cool. All of them are,
Right.
that's why I loved it.
What she was like. I worked with her, but I really
Mhm,
didn't get to talk to her.
mhm,
I wasn't, well, I mean, didn't actually work with her. I was on her
mhm.
set when
Right.
it first started on Nashville.
Okay, cool.
I noticed she's like me. She pays a lot of attention to detail.
Mhm,
A lot of attention to detail. And that's a good thing. It
right,
is a real good thing. But I always wondered what she's like as a person. And then when I seen that, you worked with her,
right.
I wanted to ask,
Oh, she's just so easy to hang out with,
Yeah.
I mean,
Love it people.
it's just you put a glass of wine in someone's hand and you're talking by a fireplace, in a lodge, it's just gonna be easy just to hang out with anybody really, right? So there was that, you know, so it was cool.
So, do you plan on taking a vacation or are you just like me, a workaholic?
Oh, I take little bits of vacation. So I'm gonna take my kids hopefully back to New York City at the end of July. So we'll do that for a week. All that because we're actually gonna be selling my childhood home. So I wanted to go back there with them and just a little last hurrah for that and just see my brothers and sisters and whatever else. So I'll probably take them back. And that'll be right before kids go back to school and my son goes to college, like all that stuff. So yeah, so we'll do that. But I haven't, you know, I don't really take, I don't go to Hawaii for, like, the week, I don't know do stuff like that. We just kinda do family stuff, but, I do like going to take little weekend trips, so that'll be nice going up to Central Coast or things like that, you know?
How old are your kids?
My kids are, freshmen or going in sophomore in college, and then, senior in high school, and then freshman in high school. So those 3.
You got teens. Teen.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
fun
It's a
age.
lot, and those also then they have their friends and they multiply and then they're here at the house and, so it's always an active crew.
Oh, I know that feeling, honey. 8.
Yes. Oh my
8.
god.
Yes. They're all grown except for one. I've got one that'll be 17. Um, and she's the last. Her friends come over. I tell the friends, I'll wait on you one time. I'm
Yeah,
showing you where everything is. You're on your own after that.
yeah,
Now,
yeah,
if you're not trashing the house, you're cleaning your
right,
shit up, that's it. But when they were all here, oh my God. Because you've got all of them, then you've got their friends, then you've
right.
got other, cousins coming
That's
over.
right.
Whoa.
That's a lot of potato chips, and bags of potato chips aren't cheap these days.
Pizza, pizza rolls.
Exactly, yeah, pizza rolls, all that stuff.
Yeah.
You gotta shop, you gotta be gotta be a good shopper at that point.
We couldn't keep pizza rolls. It was always, I tell you, teenagers nowadays, their diets are pizza rolls and ramen noodles.
Ramen noodles, that's cheap. I always love like, I don't mind buying that, that and Nutella and bread, whatever.
Yeah, Nutella. That wasn't around though when the other ones were younger.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. That's a new thing now.
Right,
Yeah, they're fun. I mean, that's a fun age, but taking them to at least get to see your childhood home,
right.
that's a
Yeah,
good thing.
yeah,
But
I mean, they've seen it, they grew up, but it's just more just saying goodbye to it before we sell it, that kinda thing, so it's one of those things. A little bit
that's
bittersweet, but it's a moment that they all want, and then we'll spend time, my cousins, my brothers and sisters, and whatever else, so it'll be cool. They love going to New York and Long Island, yeah, that whole area.
are they interested in the film industry or are they just like, no?
My one daughter who's in senior in high school now, or going into a senior year, she is. She's more into like special effects makeup and stuff like that. And
Mhm.
actually, she's the one that did the, concept design for the creature and the eyes. So, I gave her that credit. So she has her first credit. There you go.
That's
But
cool.
other than that, I think my son was saying, "Hey, this summer, like, you want a job? Like, like, I'll be a PA on a set." I'm like, "Well, there's nothing really going on in LA, so I don't know who to call." So that didn't work out. But, he's not really interested in the film industry, but, he was willing to work on set as a kind of a job summer job, you know,
Yeah. That's
so
how my
there
kids are. They no part of it. My, youngest daughter, well, the one that's going to be 17, she does a lot of art, and she actually did the art for a book that, it's an animation book that we are rebranding, and
mhm,
we are adapting that into a series, an animation series, and, she did the art for that, and this girl, she's got a lot of skill
um,
when it comes to that,
right,
but
cool,
voiceover, but acting, nothing to do with
right,
any of that. She wants no part, neither do the rest
right,
of my
right,
They're just not interested.
right.
No parts. So I'm like, "Okay, I'm not gonna try to force you to do
There you
anything."
go. Yeah, that's it. They'll find their way and they'll figure out what they like, what they don't like, and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So,
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Everybody has their own thing,
right, right.
always something. So, okay, when how long did you live in New York before you moved to LA?
I grew up in New York, and then I went to school at RAT in Rochester, New York,
Mm.
and then pretty much just, I spent summers between, then I just stayed up in Rochester, and then pretty much and then I would go then I pretty much just moved right after school. I stayed in Rochester for almost a year after graduation, and then I moved out to Utah. And then just from there, I lived in Utah, moved back, lived in the city for probably like maybe 6 to 8 months on the Upper East Side, uh, and then I moved to Cape Cod for a couple years, and then from Cape Cod, I moved to LA.
What'd you think about Utah? I stayed there for a month and there's just nothing there.
It I mean, this was '95 through, like, '98, right? So I loved Salt Lake. Listen, Utah is a planet unto itself, right? There's that. But living in Salt Lake City, we had a blast. I mean, we really did. I mean, I was just, hiking and mountain biking and all that. The beautiful Wasatch Mountains. I climbed every single mountaintop along the Wasatch, hiked and camped everywhere. Um, the southern, Utah deserts, just camping and hiking, exploring those. It was amazing. And, for mid to late 20 something, there was a great scene. Also the filmmaking scene. I shot 2 short films there and, um, nobody else was really being a filmmaker. So I kind of led the way saying, "Hey, we have all this equipment in this town, let's just start shooting stuff." And people are like, "Okay, yeah, we could do this." So like, "Yeah, we could do this." So other people started shooting their shorts and it was fun, had a lot of great parties. I lived in art space, and 300 West, 200 South. And it was an old tire factory turned into loft houses, loft apartments. And, you could play Frisbee in them and ride your bike. And, so we just had that and they were cheap. They're for artists. And it was right down the block from the Sundance Institute office. That was by design. I was like, "Ooh, that's great." So I loved Salt Lake, and then I couldn't wait to leave. Right then, it was like, "Okay, I got to get out of here. I got to go see what." But that was the same thing with like Cape Cod and Nantucket when I lived there. At some point, it was like, "Okay, I got to get out of here." You know,
I have one memory of Utah, and it's something I will never forget. And I stayed there to visit. Well, I visited my sister when I was 12. Yeah, I think I was 12, and
Mhm.
her husband. And they had lived out in like farmlands. So
Right?
nothing to do.
Oh my
Nothing.
God, yeah,
And I walked the roads, because I was used to the country roads with my brother, my little brother at the time, looking for something to do. Well, there were all these farms and they had all these horses and stuff. And we went onto this these people's property and there was a bunch of horses, and the woman, she was like, "You can stop and exercise the horses and whatever," and I'm like, "Okay, we'll
Uh-huh.
come exercise the horses." I was like, "Can we go out and pet, the horses now?" So she didn't have a problem with that. I took my brother out into the field, and we got out into the field, and there's like 200 horses now,
Oh my
and
god.
we were at least a mile out in the field. This is
Right.
We're in the middle of the field, and all these horses. Now you got to picture this. I'm 12. He's a year and a half younger than I
Yeah.
am. Okay. All these horses started coming for us. So, and the couple of them act like they were going to
Mm,
charge.
wow.
So I knew run,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
told my brother, I was like, run.
yeah.
And so we both took off running like hell through this field. And those gates where they have the opening, the metal gates where
Right.
there's
Sure.
room to go through? They were shut. And all I did was I just kept running and running and running. His ass fell. So I leave him. I'm like, you better get up, boy, because I'm
Yeah,
leaving you.
yeah, right.
Dove through the fence. And I mean, I dove through the fence.
Yeah,
He comes, he's like, you left me, you left me. I'm like, I don't care. There's
yeah.
200
Right,
horses, move it.
right, right.
He's like, we could have died. I don't Hey, you know,
Yeah, but you didn't. You got away with that one.
I was like, we won't go back out there again like
Right,
that.
yeah. Right. Yeah,
That was so funny. I sat here and I think about that now, and it was hilarious. But we really could have got killed. you know,
right,
that's the only thing I remember is all the farmlands out there.
right, right.
It was fun though. That was
Yeah.
fun.
Well, that's cool. That's a great memory.
Almost dying is always a good
Almost
memory.
dying being trampled by wild horses.
It was fun. Oh man. So California, what part are you? Are you in LA
I'm
or
in LA, yeah,
LA?
yeah.
Is How about the fires?
The fires are about an hour and a half at least north of us, up in Gorman. So that's I mean, you get the smoke and all that kind of coming in, but it's not bad. It's not like it's the worst. It's not bad. I mean, not bad for LA, but it's. I mean, I don't know what's going on with the fires up in Gorman or how contained they are or anything like that. I haven't kind of watched that so much.
That's such a dangerous
I
situation.
know, it's just it's yeah, listen, we've had fires in my area, like actual fires, so that's I've been in that situation, evacuating, you know, so but I mean, for towns that just get devastated, it happens quick, and it happens, and it's like, it's not just, California, Washington State, everywhere, Idaho, like, you name it. They're all over the place, just when things get dry, so, it's terrible, but then you have tornadoes whipping through the South, so do you want a forest fire or a tornado? It's like, well, I don't want to either, but tornadoes are just like devastating.
Oh, I know. We get them here. We had actually two tornado warnings in one night, and they were back to back. My
Mhm,
daughter was sleeping and I had to wake her up because the sirens. I made her go to the basement with the rest of the kids, and I went out and started recording like
mhm.
an idiot.
Yep,
And then
sure.
that siren ended and everything was fine. And then so my other daughter got in the shower. Next thing you know, 5 minutes later, here goes another siren and she's in the
Oh my
shower.
god.
I'm like, you got to get out.
Yeah,
Here comes another one. And this one was actually right up the street.
right,
Uh, I guess it had touched down. And I send them back down, to the basement. I still
right,
don't go to the basement. I'm looking out the door, like, where's this thing at? Like an idiot, of course, because I'm curious. I've got that
right,
curious,
sure,
you
right,
know, and it didn't hit, luckily,
mhm,
luckily. But there will, I mean, knock on wood that it don't happen, but they're bad this year. And now
yeah,
they're predicting the hurricane season's supposed to be really, really bad this year.
wow,
That's
okay.
another thing.
Are you gonna go see Twisters when it comes out?
I like the first one.
I love the first one, I did, I can't wait for the movie, I think it's gonna be great.
I
Yeah,
like the
it's gonna
first
be
one.
fun. It's a
Yeah.
popcorn movie, that's what it is, like, just go, enjoy it. It's a spectacle, you know?
Honestly, I think I would have a lot of fun going with some of those people to do the storm chasing because
Right,
I'm into that crazy kind of
right,
stuff. Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
I think that's why it's gonna do I think it's gonna do well, personally.
Mhm,
because I said, you know what? You look up at the billboards of different movies that are like, oh, that didn't do well. This, I'm like, you know what? People just need to relate to something. I'm like, and Twisters is totally outlandish, but it's also real because tornadoes are real. And you look up at the billboard, it's a bunch of characters in a pickup truck that chase these twisters.
mhm.
People wanna they like to fantasize by putting themselves in those trucks to go chase twisters. Wouldn't that be fun? You can't do that with a sci-fi movie or anything like that on spaceships, but with twisters, you can do that. I'm like, I think people really they're gonna dig this, you know? I really do think so. And I could be totally wrong, and all of a sudden weekend comes and it bombs and blah, and everyone's like, "The film industry sucks." But I think it's gonna be, okay.
Well, a lot of people, I mean, this is what one thing, they always go from, oh, the box office, the whole time it was in the box office, but oh, it did this much money, it made this much money in the box office.
Mhm.
But look at the grand scheme. A lot of people don't go. So there are a lot of people that don't go to the movies. So
Right,
that's not always your total of what you're bringing in, because once it does
right,
start streaming where people can rent it, there's where your money's going to come in.
right,
You
right.
and that's what a lot of people don't look at. Oh, well, it's not necessarily a flop just because it didn't make this many millions of dollars in the box office.
Mhm.
Wait until it hits where people that actually can't leave their house,
Right,
want to watch these movies,
right,
you're making money.
right,
They don't estimate that in. They
right.
just,
No, they
oh,
don't. People,
one
yeah,
really bad weekend, you know?
well, they're just thinking about the box office before streaming, before the, whatever, TVOD and blah, 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 and all that stuff. It's just like, but all, like you said, all that adds up and home entertainment and it all adds up, yes, theatrical is not dead. Yeah, it's not raking in all the money that it used to, but that's because of, yeah, we had the pandemic. That showed people could just chill out at home. You know, strikes, things like that have just kind of hit the industry over the last couple of years, and that's why it's slim pickings, for different projects or whatever else. But I mean, you know, Barbieheimer, it was a great event, and made a lot of money. Like theatrical is not dead. It's just that it's just needs a little bit of a research, and if anything, I tell people like this is the moment where for indie film companies if they really want to start up or any filmmakers, this is your time. This is the time to get in and really make a splash.
Yeah.
Because in 1988, right, we had the writer's strike. What happened after that? That really hit. It wasn't very good for late 80s movies from the studios. What happened? You get Good Machine, you get the Shooting Gallery, you get Miramax, you get all these indie companies that started to produce movies on like a certain budget, and they really did well. And then Sundance comes along and just, whatever, all that, all the Soderbergh, Tarantino, whatever. I mean, all those movies come out, and there was a surge of the, American independent, movie that kind of wave. And I do think that there's an ability for a new one to come. It's just that our filmmakers gonna just get up and do it and get it going and write movies that people are gonna want to see, or what are they gonna do? I don't know. We'll see.
Barbie, I knew that was going to do good,
Mhm,
but what really surprised me is my son, who is in the army,
mhm.
sends me this text of him and a bunch of his little military buddies
Right,
all dressed up in pink at on their motorcycles outside of the theater, all in pink now, okay?
right.
Squished down for this photo. We're going to see Barbie. I'm like,
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing
all
is
right.
like, I mean, it's a movie that everybody had the same, kind of you might say, what's the attire? Well, the attire is pink, so everyone's going to join in. It became a gathering, an event, and that's what maybe some films are going to need that to create a splash. You know,
Military men, though.
that's hilarious. No, I think it's awesome.
I'll send you the picture. I'll have to go
Yeah,
through and find it. You're gonna crack up, but I'm
that's
telling you,
hilarious.
oh my god. I'm
That's
just
it.
like, you guys are nuts.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
I mean, personally, Barbie, I love Margot Robbie, I love Ryan,
Right,
but
right,
Barbie, honestly, maybe when I was a kid, but
right,
my son, it just cracks me up that him and his little buddies just went and seen it. It was just so funny. If you see the picture, trust me, you'll know what I'm talking about. But
right,
it did really good, and I knew, and I even said it as soon as that first one was
right,
released. I was like, "Oh, this is gonna keep going," because
right,
right there, that's just the start,
right,
right?
right,
Be I mean, it's Barbie for crying out loud. There's
right,
kids everywhere. That movie, they can make 20 of them movies.
right,
Eas Hands
right,
down. They can keep that going forever, you
right,
know? Kids, everybody has kids.
right, right. There could be a Barbie for every new generation, that kind of thing.
Right. Different Barbies too, because they don't always have to just be blondes.
Right, right. That's it.
That's just my outlook on that whole situation. I don't know. Well, anyway, I know you are very busy, so I am gonna let you get back to go
Okay. All
whatever you
right.
need to do because I know I'm sure you got people blowing you up right now.
Yeah,
But
no, yeah, that's got little bits here, there, but yeah, but it's been fun to do this, and you know, yeah. I mean, any last questions? We're good.
no, yes, one thing.
Yeah,
Do you have any advice for any aspiring filmmakers out there before
yeah,
we
yes, I do. I mean, it's also advice for myself. Is just keep shooting, keep filming, and if people are like, I mean, here's the biggest piece of advice: be willing to film and produce one of your shorts or features on a version that is way lower budget than you would ever think. Because the fact is that you're not a filmmaker until you're making films. There's a difference between being a director and directing. And if you have an iPhone, yes, go shoot with your iPhone. You can cut on in iMovie on your iPhone. You could upload music and do that, and those are your short films. You just gotta start doing it. And until you have material, no one's gonna put down any amount of money to support you. It doesn't matter how good your script is. They're gonna wanna see what you can do as a director, as a filmmaker. And it doesn't take you can choose your shots, that doesn't cost money. You can choose your editing style, that doesn't cost money. Your script, your actors, they cost money, but you can always find a good actor to do it and don't write in 20 characters. Find somebody to help you out. And I just really think music, there's so many composers out there that would love to score something. I just think just you gotta just start making movies, just start shooting, you know. And if you here's an example. In 2012, I made a feature film called A Girl, a Guy, a Space Helmet. And it's on Tubi, so it's free. A girl, a guy, space helmet. I wrote and directed it. I shot it with just my little digital camera, right? My HD, boom, shot at 720. My friend was the boom guy, and that was the crew. And I did all available light, and it's a feature film, and I shot it for $10,000. So that movie was produced for $10,000 and it's on Tubi. So that's what you could do with $10,000, you know. And I shot the shit out of it all along LA.
and
And
I
and
shit.
I paid SAG, I paid all the actors. So that's where, and I paid my composer. I fed everybody, but that's where the money went. But you could do low budget filmmaking if you allow yourself to. Some people are like, no, I need $3 million. It's like, okay, do you? But so my advice is just start making movies. Do it.
I agree. I
There you
don't
go. And go see and watch Girl a Guy Space Helmet on Tubi and make
check that
something better.
out. All right. All right. Thank you for coming on, Mike. I do
Well,
appreciate
thank
it.
you
You
so
are welcome
much.
to come back anytime. Anytime.
Okay. Thanks for the chat.
Yep. Thank you guys for
All
watching.
right.
See you next time. Bye.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Yeah, yeah, it's over, baby. You said that you love me, you said that you care, you say that you will die for me, girl, but you know that just hot air. I don't care what you say, I don't care what you do. No need to look to your left, girl, cause nothing belongs to you. Now you try me, you know you can't run them games on me. Now you creeping, I saw you stepping out with that G, yeah. Say what you wanna say, do what you wanna do, play how you wanna play. It's over, it's over, it's over, it's over. Say what you wanna say, do what you wanna do, play how you wanna play. It's over, you know, you know, you know it, you know it. No more playing with my mind, no more wasting all my time, no more telling all your girlfriends that you're spending every dime. You know you don't get nothing from me. It's time to set your whole heart free.